Mr. Thompson, but for today I'm going to be playing the part of William Shakespeare. The secondary 1 students have been practicing a long time a play called Romeo and Juliet. Romeo and Juliet is one of the most famous plays of William Shakespeare. William Shakespeare lived and wrote over 400 years ago. In fact, this Saturday is the 400th year, so Saturday, April 23rd, is the 400th year anniversary of Shakespeare's death. So all around the world this week, and especially this weekend, this Saturday, Shakespeare plays are being performed by people of all countries and nationalities. In fact, in places like London at the Globe Theatre, where Shakespeare worked to put on his plays, the Globe Theatre is actually on Saturday doing all 37 of Shakespeare plays back to back to back to back to back. It would be a total of about 115 hours worth of plays, so it's going to go more than just Saturday. But our play's not going to be that long today, I promise you. I want to talk to you a little bit about the play, and then I've got to teach you, because you guys are actually going to have a part. One of the great things about Shakespeare's plays is he loved audience getting involved in his plays. So we're going to try to replicate that with you guys today, and you're going to need to do a couple of things for me. But first I want to talk a little bit about the play so you'll kind of know what's going on and who the main characters are. As I said, the play is called Romeo and Juliet. Romeo and Juliet are 2 teenagers. In fact, they're close to a lot of you guys' age. They're about 14 and 16 years old. It's one of the few times we have a Shakespearean character's age actually mentioned in the play. And they like each other a whole lot. A whole lot. In fact, they like each other so much that they're going to go against their parents, who absolutely hate each other. Romeo is a Montague and Juliet is a Capulet. Our Montagues are going to be dressed with blue, so anytime you see blue colors, you'll know that is a Montague on Romeo's side. And the Capulets are going to be in red. And so you'll know when you see red, those are Capulets. And these guys hate each other so much that you'll see a lot of Capulets and Montagues will try to kill each other, and some will succeed in killing each other with swords. Don't try that at home, by the way. We're professional actors, don't try that at home. So what I want to do is I want to bring out the characters so you can see who they are, and so you'll know when they come, and each time I'll mention a little bit about what the character's role is, if they're Montague or Capulet. So first, let's bring out Romeo and Juliet. Romeo and Juliet. Everybody recognize? And maybe if we're lucky, we can see them do something like hold hands. Alright, so Romeo and Juliet were 2 teenagers. I mentioned that their parents hate them so much, mainly because the families hate each other. So I'm going to bring out the 2 Lord and Lady Capulet and Lord and Lady Montagues so you can see the 2 families. So can I have Lord and Lady Montague? It's a nice dress. And then you notice the colors they were blue Montagues and Lord and Lady Capulet. There we go. So see the red. That's Lord Capulet, Lady Capulet. Okay. Now we also have our people, some of them are playing multiple roles. So I want to introduce you to some of the roles. They're not the minor roles, but they're kind of mixed in and they all do various things. So let's see. The first person I'll bring out is Romeo's cousin, Benvolio, who's trying to help Romeo out. I think Romeo or Benvolio. There's Benvolio. Is also playing the role of Balthazar, who is also a Montague, who's going to help be kind of a messenger. It's going to screw up and kind of lead to a lot of problems. So thank you, Anna. Another good friend of Romeo's, who is a part of the Montagues, is Mercutio. Mercutio. She's also a Lady Capulet. So Mercutio is going to unfortunately meet his untimely demise and die at the hands of our next person. So thank you. Now hold on, before I introduce this person, this is one of the things you have to do for me. So this person, Tybalt, is a Capulet. And Tybalt has bad temper. Bad temper. He's always going to get in a fight. So he's really one of the big villains of the play. So anytime you see Tybalt, you're going to go, boo! So let me hear you. Let's bring out Tybalt. See if you remember. Tybalt. going to like this character, Juliet's nurse. And Juliet's nurse is like her nanny. It's like her that's taking care of her since she's a baby. So she cares a lot about you. So or a lot about Juliet. So let's hear the nurse. Alright, thank you, nurse. We're going to see the nurse in a minute. Dario's nurse is going to help you out with the last thing you need to do. Let's see. I'm forgetting some of the other characters I want to introduce. The other person I want to introduce you to is the Prince of Verona. All this takes place in a town called Verona. It's in Italy. You can actually visit it still and see Juliet's balcony today. But the prince is the ultimate ruler and authority. He is the person in charge. He's the one who lays down the law. And he's the one trying to tell them, stop fighting and ruining my city. So let's have the prince. It's easy to know where's the crown. Let's see, I don't think I'm getting anybody. Get everybody. Okay. Oh, sorry, yes. The last person I need to introduce you to is the religious figure of the play, our friar. The friar is going to be the person who tries to help the two families. He's upset that they hate each other, so he hatches a plan to marry Romeo and Juliet, even though he knows both families hate each other, because he thinks that that's going to help them. Later, he's going to give Juliet a potion to make her appear dead, so that she can run off. She's not really going to be dead, but so she can run off and marry Romeo. And unfortunately for the friar, his plans backfire against him, and all sorts of bad things ensue. And you'll see that in the closing scene of the play. So can I have our friar? Yeah, the friar. Okay. We're just about to get started. The last thing I want you to do, so I'm going to need Dario, if you can come back out here for me. So you got to boo when you see Tybalt. And the only other thing, I'll decide that one. Alright, this is going to take some practice. So you guys ready to be Shakespearean actors? Romeo and Juliet, I told you they're going to get married. Alright? You will see when they get married, because they will be kneeling in front of the friar on the stage right here. Now, what happens after, some of you probably know this, after people are married and they walk down the aisle, what usually happens? They kiss. Wedding song and... we'll see if they kiss. I don't know if you're that ready to do that. Traditionally, people throw things like throwing rice or birdseed. So you'll see our actors will throw rice. But we tried to get a good wedding song. We couldn't find a good one. So what we decided is we want you to be a part of this. So Dario, when they get married, he'll come out right here. Come out and stand right here from Dario. So he'll hold up the sign that says wedding song. When you see that sign, you guys are going to do the wedding song, and it's going to go like this. Ba 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 ba. Let's try it. And we're going to do that all the way. Romeo and Juliet are going to go right down the aisle just like a real wedding. Okay? You guys ready for the play? Yeah! How about we give these guys a big hand? Alright, everybody ready? The crashing sound of metal against metal echoes off cobblestone. Two feuding households, the Capulets and the Montagues, cross swords again. Fighting explodes in the streets of Verona. Youths, dressed in their families' colors, slash at one another. Market stalls are overturned, screaming mothers and children flee. Benvolio, a young Montague, rushes in to stop the fighting.
Aren't you fools? Haven't you learned yet what this fighting will lead to? Down to the house of Montague. Prepare to die. Coward! Here comes one of his Swedes to my sword. No, I beg you.
Stop, not again! Down at the capital! Down with the Montagues!
Rebellion
rebellious subjects, enemies of peace, you men, you beasts, throw your weapons to the ground. This ancient grudge your families bear has too often brought bloodshed to our town. Hear me, if you disturb Verona's peace one more time, you will pay with your life. Now, a fatal death all men depart.
No, I don't think so. I saw him earlier this morning wandering around the woods with tears in his eyes.
He's depressed all the time, even locking himself in dark rooms. What's wrong with him?
He won't say.
Here he comes.
You go on. I'll try to see what I can find out. Good morning, cousin.
Is it still morning? The hour seems so long.
What makes them long, my friend? What's the matter?
Love.
You're in love?
Out of it. She won't have me.
She who?
What difference does it make? She's beautiful, wise, fair. But she keeps it all over herself.
Then forget about her. There are plenty of other beauties. Dig a new one to your eye, and the poison of your sadness will die.
Do you think that will cure me?
Sure, listen, I hear Lord Capulet's having a party tonight. All the prettiest girls of Verona will be there. Let's invite ourselves.
Montagues at the Capulet's house will never be tolerated.
It's a masquerade. We'll wear masks like everyone else.
My heart's not in it.
Oh, come on. Before the moon is low, the maid which you thought a swan, you'll find is really just a crow.
I doubt it, but yes, I'll go.
Capulet household bustles with preparations for the party. Lady Capulet enters Juliet's room.
Juliet, I must speak with you. Tell me, nurse, what is my daughter's age?
Juliet? Well, she's nearly 14. I bet 14 my teeth, that's how old she is. Of course, I only have 4 teeth left.
14 years. Juliet, have you been married?
None haven't dreamed of yet, mother.
Well, then read my letter. Paris, his been a prince, have asked you for your hand.
Paris, a handsome lad.
I don't even know him.
Your mother must promise you to him. Marry Paris and you'll share all he has. Well, he'll be at the party tonight. We can see if you want.
If you wish it, I'll try it.
That evening, Romeo and Benvolio are joined by their friend Mercutio. All three head toward the Capulets for the masked dance.
Come on, Romeo, stop dragging your feet.
I'm not up for this.
The eternal lover? Not up for a party full of young women? Lower Cupid's wing and fly, man. Oh.
I really shouldn't go. Misgivings hang in the stars.
Now what's bothering you?
I had a dream.
The dreams of the children of an idle brain, they often
No,
lie.
really. I fear some untimely death.
Oh, shake it off. You're depressing us.
For your sakes, I'll try. But may he that steers my course direct my sail.
In the great hall, Lord Capulet seeks to undo the ill humor of the day's street brawl.
Welcome, all. Musicians, play. Tables up and stay. That lady was very bright. My heart never loved till now. I've never seen true beauty till this night. decide what you will endure.
This trespass burns inside.
Forgive me if my hand offends yours. I'd like to get to know you better.
Good pilgrim, you do wrong with your hands too much. Even saints have hands that move and do not touch. I'm prayer, hand to hand, seek to kiss.
Then by all means, let your palm touch mine.
Juliet! What's the word with you?
Madam,
Yes.
who is her mother?
Lady of the house?
A Capulet?
Romeo, we've got to leave. They know who we are. Come quickly.
Nurse, who is that man?
His name is Romeo, the only son of Lord Montague.
And my only love, son of my enemy, it cannot be.
No way!
Romeo cannot forget Juliet. Like a man possessed, he roams outside the Capulet's villa. Boldly, he climbs a wall and lands in an orchard. Suddenly, he spies a balcony door opening.
But stop. What light the under window breaks? Why, it is the east, and Juliet is the sun. It is my lady. Look how she leans her hand upon that cheek. I wish I were above upon that hand.
Ah, me.
She speaks. Speak again, bright angel.
Romeo, oh Romeo, why must you be named Romeo? Refuse your father's name, or if you cannot, swear a love to me and I'll no longer be a Capulet.
Shall I speak?
It's only your name that's my enemy, but what's in a name? A rose by any other name would smell as sweet. Be rid of your name and come to me.
I take you at your word. Call me your love and I'll no longer be Montague.
Who's there?
How can I tell you my name? I am an enemy to you.
I haven't heard 100 words from you yet, I know who you are. Romeo, how did you get in here? My relatives find you, they'll murder you.
Night will hide me. Even so, if they find me, I'd rather die by their hate than live without their love.
I blush to think that you heard what I said before. I should have been more reserved. But in truth, I am too fond of you. Do you love me? Say so, and I'll take you at your word.
I swear by the moon.
Don't swear by the moon. It changes constantly. Unless, of course, your love is as changing.
Never, never, my lady. What shall I swear by?
Yourself, which I worship.
My heart is...
No, never mind. This is too sudden. When next we meet, then our love can bloom like a flower. Till then, good night, sweet dreams.
You're going?
What else would you?
Exchange your faithful vows for mine.
But I already gave you mine before you even asked for it.
So now you're saying you want to take them back?
Only to give it to you again. You see, my love is like a boundless sea. The more I have, the more I give, for both are infinite.
Juliet!
Madam, stay here.
Tell me I'm not dreaming.
If your intentions are honorable, if your purpose is marriage, then send me word tomorrow. Tell me where and when the ceremony will be, and I'll meet you, and we'll run away.
I will arrange it all.
Juliet, where are you?
Parting is such a sorrow that I can say goodnight till it be tomorrow.
Sleep well. I will go to Farmer Horse's cell tomorrow. Surely he will marry us.
Friar Lawrence is in the monastery garden, picking herbs for remedies. Romeo approaches.
Friar Lawrence!
Good heavens, Romeo, you look as if you've been up all night.
I have been, Father, feasting with my enemy. And I fell in love with the daughter of Capulet. And she loves me too. We exchanged vows. And we want to be married.
This is so sudden, my son. I thought you loved another.
I did, but meeting Juliet has changed all that. Will you marry us, Father? Will you marry us today?
Yes, I will be yours.
Thank you, Father, thank you. We will return this afternoon.
Perhaps a marriage will turn their warring house's hatred to love.
It's not going to work.
I see a baby crawling on the ground in that
friends are hanging out in the town square.
Tybalt recognized Romeo last night. I hear he's looking for him and wants to settle his grudge. I hope Romeo can handle him. Tybalt's always hot for Jewel. Here comes Romeo now.
Oh, well, look who it is, the disappearing lover. You should give us a sip last night.
We parted, friends. My business was great.
Well, you could at least have.
Can any of you tell me where I might find young Romeo?
I am here.
I'd like to have a word with you.
Who the whole pity wants to ask you out?
Give me that. Stop it.
Ignore it. Ignore it.
Romeo, listen to me. I must know if your intentions with Juliet are not.
Only the best. Tell Fire Lawrence to meet her. Tell her to meet Fire Lawrence to sell tomorrow. There we will marry.
Yes. She'll be.
Guys, get ready. This is your big moment for the wedding song, so be ready. Romeo anxiously awaits Juliet's arrival at the monastery.
I hope heaven smiles upon your marriage, and that sorrow stays away from your door.
After you join our hands, sorrow cannot touch me. 1 minute's joy with Juliet is mine will be worth whatever death may dare.
Don't tempt fate and love moderately, or it will flame up now as quickly as fire. Now cool off a bit. Here comes your bride.
Juliet, tell him with your sweet breath, are you as happy as I am?
My love has grown so much I cannot contain it.
Romeo and Juliet kneel to become husband and wife. Job. It is late afternoon. Romeo's friends are once again hanging out in the town square.
Let's go to my father's house for dinner, Mercutio. It's hot, and the Capulets are roaming about. Are you afraid of a brawl? No, I fear you'll brawl. Oh, it's too late. Here comes Tybalt.
Well, who do we have here? Romeo's buddies?
What of it? Men, please, find another place to fight. Everyone's watching. Here comes the pretty crusher himself.
Romeo, villain. Tybalt, I am no villain. In fact, I take your name as dear as my own.
Has he lost his mind? Do you mock me? Another injury? Turn and draw your sword.
Tybalt, I've never injured you. In fact, there's much reason to love you.
Don't grow at his feet. Stay out of it, friend. Tybalt, king of cats, give me one of your legs for our capture.
Cousin, the princess from Vincent's fighting.
It's nothing. Just a risk. He's hurt! A plague on both your houses! They have made promise me with me.
What? Dead? Oh, black is fate. Until this moment, Juliet's fury has held me in a spell. But now my fury swells. Tybalt, you are the villain. Meanwhile, Mercutio's soul hangs over our heads. Now I must send you to him.
No, wretch, it will be you.
Romeo, be gone away! The prince will do me to death!
Romeo flees the scene in panic. Juliet is in her orchard, impatient for nightfall and her new husband's return. Suddenly, her nurse approaches.
Oh, lady! He's dead!
Dead? Who?
Romeo! Whoever would have thought it?
Romeo's dead?
Tybalt! Tybalt was killed!
Tybalt and Romeo dead?
Tybalt was slain and Romeo was banished.
Romeo shouldn't be cousins. What?
There was fighting. Tybalt slew Mercutio, so Romeo slew Tybalt. The princess exiled Romeo.
Shed my cousin's blood.
Shame to Romeo.
Blisters on your tongue, woman. Romeo's my lord.
You speak well of him that killed your cousin.
Should I speak ill of my husband? Oh, Romeo's banished. I shall rather die.
There, sweet Juliet. I'll find Romeo to comfort you. I think I know where he'll hide.
Romeo has taken refuge with Friar Lawrence. The realization of his deed has struck him.
I never meant to do it, but it was my life or his. Now the prince will take my life.
He has banished you.
Banished? Death would be more merciful.
Don't be so thankless. The world is black and white.
But Juliet is here in Verona.
It's not as bad as you think.
If you could feel what I do, maybe you'd understand.
Get up, Romeo, and hide. Who's there?
I come for Lady Juliet.
There is Romeo, drunk in his own tears.
What knows from Juliet now?
She weeps constantly.
My name has murdered her. Now let me kill it.
Stop it, Romeo. Be a man. Juliet is alive, and you would kill her with your own death? Pull yourself together. Now listen. Go to Juliet and comfort her, but leave before dawn. Then you can go to Mantua and live there until we win the prince's pardon.
Your word revive me.
I will see to it that your servant brings you word to Mantua from time to time. Now, farewell.
This way, come on. This way. This way.
Juliet's chamber, Romeo wakes to birds singing. Alarmed, he jumps up.
The morning lark. It's dawn. I must go or stay and die.
It's not the lark, it's the nightingale. It cannot be gone. Stay a while.
I am more desired to stay than I will go.
Oh, wait. It's the lark. You must go. It grows light.
Juliet, your mother comes.
My eyes must fail me, for I see as pale as one in the tomb.
It is only sorrow draining my blood. Fear not. Farewell.
As Romeo climbs out the window and disappears, Juliet throws herself back on her bed and weeps.
Daughter, are you up?
I'm not well.
Still grieving for your cousin? You should grieve instead for the villain that killed him. We're going to have Romeo poisoned in Mantua.
Oh.
Too much weeping is not good for you. Here's something to bring you joy. Your father has arranged for you to marry Paris on Thursday.
Paris? I will not wed Paris. I'd rather marry Romeo, who I'm supposed to hate.
What's all this?
Just won't marry Paris.
Won't do it. Count your blessings, girl. He's a worthy man.
Please, I beg you.
Is this the thanks I get for making a princely match? You are too proud. Next Thursday, I'll get your joints to church and work. I'll drag you there myself.
But I'm on my knees.
Disobedient rat.
No, my lord.
I tried to marry her off well, and the wifeful says, I can. You'll marry Paris or leave my house.
Mother, please. Nurse, what do I do?
Well, he has brought things up. Romeo's rapture does not come back, so considering the circumstances, I think it's best you marry Count Paris.
You too?
Yeah.
Some comfort. Well, then amen. Go tell my father I will all be ruled by him.
That's bad.
Tell my parents I've gone to say confession.
Tell him.
Traitor, now you and I forever parted. Father, come we pass low, past cure, past help.
I know your grief. Paris has been here this morning.
But you joined my heart with Romeo's. Now tell me of a remedy, for I long to die.
I spy a kind of hope. If you are ready to die, would you be willing to
Yes.
pretend to die?
Yes, I'd rather be chained up with snakes than marry Paris.
All right. Then listen up. Take this vial of liquid. Tomorrow night, when you are alone drinking, presently drowsiness will run through all your veins. Your pulse will stop, your breath will halt. For 40 hours, you will appear to be dead. When your family comes waking in the morning, they will think you are dead. Meanwhile, I'll send a letter with Mama and my monks to Romeo. When you wake in the tomb, your husband will be there to bury you to Mantua.
Father, I thank you. Give me that vial, and God give me strength.
On the morning of Juliet's wedding, the nurse tries to wake her, but she finds her cold and stiff.
Lady? Lady? Oh, my lady's dead!
What's going on?
My child!
Oh, wretched day. Let me see my daughter. That flies up here like frost upon the sweetest flower.
Oh, cursed wicked day!
Bride of flowers must now serve her corpse. With my child, all my joy will be great.
What, dead? My master will be devastated. I must run quickly to Mantua and tell him before he learns from somebody else.
Balthazar mounts his horse and rides quickly to Mantua, where when he arrives, Romeo runs up to him.
What is Juliet? Is she well? I tripped as much.
Oh, pardon. How can I say this? I saw Julia's dead body in the Capulet family tomb.
Juliet is dead? How? Why?
I don't know, sir, but her spirit now lives with the angels.
Then I defy you, stars! Balthazar, go hire a fast horse for me. I will steal back to Verona tonight.
In sadness, Balthazar goes.
And I know a merchant who will sell me good poison.
At nightfall, Romeo goes back to Verona. On the road, his swift horse passes a monk walking with a slow donkey toward Mantua. In the saddlebag is the friar's undelivered letter to Romeo. A little later, Romeo arrives at the Capulet cemetery.
Now I will accept you with better death. Open your jaws, rotten tomb. Tybalt, my cousin, I can do no better favor than sever the life of the one who slayed me. Oh, my love, my wife, why, she still doesn't bear the blush of life. Death has no power over your beauty, and no power over us. Eyes, look your last. Arms, take your last embrace. Come here, poison. Guide me to my love. Thus, with a kiss.
Friar Lawrence sneaks into the crypt to be with Juliet when she's supposed to awake.
Why didn't Romeo come to my monastery as I wrote? What if my monk is delayed? Oh, I fear something dreadful. But there, a horse. Maybe Romeo will directly here.
The friar takes a torch from the doorway and proceeds inside the tomb. Soon, he spots Romeo sprawled on the stone floor,
Oh,
dead.
what kind hour?
Father, where's Romeo?
Lady, some greater power has foiled our plan.
No!
Realize, Romeo.
Romeo dead?
Listen, lady, the watchman comes. You must go.
No, no, I will not go. No, no. What's this? Vial of poison? Let me drink the last and join him. no friendly drum left to help me, and I'll be free. Happy dagger, let me die!
As morning breaks, word spreads through Verona's streets that Romeo and Juliet are both dead. The friar, found in the orchard, has explained all to the prince. Capulets and Montagues, both families converge solemnly in the square. They bear the bodies of the star-crossed lovers to the palace.
Capulet, Montague, see the scourge that is laid upon your head.
Brother Montague.
Heaven has found a way